Hello and welcome yet again, this beautiful November day to our Rabell Realty Group podcast here on Facebook Live. Hope you're joining us, and if you're not joining us now, hope you can follow us and join us later. I am Kristen Rabell, and this is
Rebecca Johnson.
Hello, we're so happy to be back. We love these Mondays where we just get to sit and chat about some of our favorite things, mostly just real estate. So we're going to start with our market moment.
Yes. Market moment for the month of November. All right, so far in the month of November, we have had 152 new listings hit the market, and we are, I believe, 16 days in, so that's not too bad. And pending sales, we've had 223 pending sales and 139 closed sales. So you're still seeing that pattern trend.
Same pattern we talked about every week.
Every week, but we're going to tell you until you call us to list the house. So. Or to buy
and I
a
do
house.
have to apologize. These absolute gorgeous videos that we show, especially the ones in the beginning, we're so sorry. We get them for this show, and then we sell the house before we get on the show. So that adorable little Camden Court and Hale Plantation home is already pinned. But that doesn't mean that we won't list your house and do the same for you.
That's right. We actually have a couple more listings coming on. So videos were being done today. So maybe they'll be available by next week, but they might be sold. Who knows? But if you're out there and you're looking for a home, let us know. We've got inventory coming on pretty much constantly.
Yes,
but not enough to keep up with the market trends.
Right. We're usually in those pending sales fairly quickly.
So yeah,
there are some unique properties that don't sell that quick, but if you have a nice move-in ready home, 2232, 43, 42.5, anything, they're going fairly quickly. So especially if they're priced right and they're ready to move in, that's what people are looking for right now.
So like she stated, so we've got 223 pending and only 152 new. So if you're out there and you're thinking about selling, now is definitely the time. Those closed sales, I suspect we're going to see those jump up a lot next week.
Right.
Well, actually, I guess technically 2 weeks.
Well, I think for the rest of the year, because remember, there's those tax benefits with your your taxes on your home. So basically, if you close before December 31st, you get the benefit of having the homestead that's currently already on the home, rather than having to wait a year, the very next year, which would be 2022, for the homestead for yourself.
And if you're, following any of the news outlets or anything, they are talking about another possible shutdown. So you might want to find that place you want to be quarantined and get it closed quick. So call us and let us know. We can help you with that for sure.
I do also want to say a lot of these pending sales in our market are probably new construction that take, I think we talked about this before, 4 to 6 months, even sometimes longer to close. So that's why they're so high. They're so high in comparison to the new listings and new closed that we have weekly that we're showing you, that we're keeping up with for each month. So yeah, and remember, these are monthly, so this is just in November for pretty much. Do we have about maybe a 31st of October in here? Or is this
nope, I did
Yep.
November 1st because I think that started on a Sunday or Monday. So,
right.
But yeah, so we'll have some new numbers. Maybe possibly for next week we'll look at what everything's happened for the year.
Yep.
If you're interested in that, let us know, and we can go ahead and do a bigger segment on that.
And luckily, rates are low still. I mean, there was a little bit of a spike, and I think the market in general is really happy, mainly because of COVID's. There's the new meds are out now, and so everybody's like really happy about the possibility of finding a cure for this. We would say a cure, So I think that's making a lot of people excited in the market. So stocks are doing well as the real estate market. And so, what were you going to say?
So, we were talking about more energy efficient items before
Every time we talk about something, it appears in the news or in our, in our searches on Google. And actually, this came up. So we have talked about, like you just said, how this year was a year that everyone's staying at home. You're really not going to work. I mean, we are, but most people are not going to work. You're working at home, and they're wanting these homes that can really deal with this new normal that we're dealing with. So one of the biggest things is energy efficient smart homes, and solar panels have proven to be some of the best things that people are adding their homes. Now, not necessarily Gainesville. When I really looked into this article, which was posted by Zillow, the 4.1% more that the homes were selling for is really in bigger cities. And one of the Florida cities was Orlando, and they were really seeing the 4% increase. Most of them on the average were about 2%, but still, that is really helping the sales because of that energy efficiency. So I was talking with Alex Black. Let me grab the notes I have here from Enlight Energy, and I don't know, Alex just has like this energy that you really love to be around, and we could talk for hours and hours and hours, and he was talking about everything that they offer. And this is not a plug necessarily, but you lucked out, Alex, on getting on this and Enlight Energy. We don't usually do this, but there's a solar loan when it's added to the equity of the home, and then it can either be paid off at closing or transferred over to the new owner, because that's really the biggest thing about solar panels because they're loans. But the nice thing is that it's utility, so it doesn't affect loan to value. So that could be something that when you're selling a home with solar panels, you can really ask about that and talk about that with your lender and talk about that with your buyers or sellers. And then if you're purchasing, they're pretty hefty expensive. I mean, I would say probably about the same amount as a roof. But if you're getting that back, the amount that you're putting on there, and you're getting part of that back, also there's a 22% tax credit from GRU here in Alachua County. So you're saving, a nice little bundle of money to put them on there, and then you're also raising your value by about that much that you're saving. So, it makes sense if you really want this energy efficient home, and if you're going to stay there for a while. And then also, it's just like anything you own, you have to maintain it, you have to keep up with it. But they do have like 30 to 50 year warranties, and they last for that long. Wow. I mean, I've always heard of they only last for like 20 years, but the new ones have longer warranties and last longer. So these are some great additions to your home that are giving you a little bit of a raise in value.
So you and I wouldn't qualify because we like to move and change houses every 3 to 4 years.
We do. Yeah, you did talk about putting that Tioga house on the market, huh?
You got a hail one coming on the market?
Probably. Yeah, when your houses get too big for you, then you probably got to move. If you get too small for you, you probably have to move. So there might be some Tioga and hail houses coming on the market. I'm
like Goldilocks. I got to find the one that's just right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, so I don't feel like I'd be a candidate for solar because I don't ever stay in a house.
Right.
I know. I've only been there like 2 years, and I'm ready to move.
There's also this really cool app that people can download, and it doesn't just go with your solar panels. It also goes with like your insulated windows, anything that you put in to raise the energy efficiency of your home. You can download this monitoring system, and it monitors your house, so you can see how much you're saving daily, weekly, monthly. If you want to make sure that your energy usage is low or high, you can follow on your app. So that's a pretty
incredible.
Cool app.
Did Alex give you like if you're in GRU, this is the average? Yes, Jamie, we're moving. Did he give you the average savings?
I mean, it looked like they were saving whatever they were putting in there, or the average savings of GRU.
Yeah.
No, he did not with
like
that.
Like, how long would it take you to recoup? That would be interesting to know.
We can look into that. And too bad there's no one on here like Alex that I asked to be on here to answer these questions.
Yeah, Alex, get on here and answer these questions. We'll find out.
If anybody knows, that'd be great.
Yeah, because I think that's a big incentive. And I guess it probably depends on how much you use. I mean, it's no secret that Gainesville has high utility costs, and I feel like I've encountered people that are like, oh, I just keep my AC at 81, and I've learned to adjust that way, and I work by candlelight to help save on those utility bills. So it would be interesting to know what
if
the
you have a
savings look
pool
like.
with a heating system, the solar panels are going to help with that. I mean, sure, you could use gas, but it's still through GRU, and it's still not cheap. And then he was talking about how these solar panels, they're heating up the whole house and keeping the house cool as well. So I would say if you are not having to pay GRU, you're probably saving a bundle. No offense to GRU, but yes, that's pretty much how it feels here when you are paying GRU. And even though I don't know why you would leave Clay Electric in Tioga to come into Gainesville, that might change your mind, because that's really nice.
Good point. I'll have to think about that. Or maybe I'll just buy a place and put some solar panels on it. Who knows?
They already come with solar panels, then what are you missing out on?
That's true. Oh, Lord. What do you got in your hand there?
So I don't know if any of you have heard of Real Producers. It's a magazine that is sent to the top producers in each town. And this month of Thanksgiving, we were on the cover as the top producers. So we have to be proud. I think the problem with Rebecca and I is that we are so critical of ourselves sometimes that we hate these pictures, but it's a really nice little article. If you can pick one up, or even better yet, if you want one, you can put your name in, you can type your name in and we will send you one. We will autograph it for you and mail it to you, or you can pick it up.
No, we won't, but we'll send you one.
What I love about it, it shows how we love to work out, our passion for workout, our passion for our family. Here in Hale, all of us have went down to visit with the horses, our passion for our business, and we have a really great tiny little photo. And we want to tell that story. We're taking pictures at my house by the pool for this, for this article. And we just really didn't know what to do anymore. And, we have to show our passion. And honestly, our passion's real estate. So, we could do 15 pictures of us with real estate or add in some others. So we just figured let's have fun, because we also, Holly, I've already given a signed copy for her coffee table. But we decided to jump in with our clothes on, obviously with our clothes on. We didn't have the dresses on, right? We changed into our workout clothes.
We were in workout gear.
Right, and we jumped in the pool. It was pretty chilly. My pool is a freezing cold pool, and Rebecca, your face and your screaming was hilarious, because I don't think you've jumped in a pool that cold before.
I haven't.
It's like jumping into the spring.
Well, and y'all psych me out because you're like, it's so cold. Our pool is. It is cold, by the way.
Really
Her
cold,
pool is very cold. I don't have a screen over mine, and it's just and it's got a black bottom, so it just is a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
I was not expecting it to feel like I felt like Rose jumping off the Titanic. I'm like, this is really cold.
The ice water of our pool.
It was icy, and
we do have that cage screen. And
I can't believe I even suggested it or agreed to it after I suggested it. As soon as I was like, we should just jump in the pool, Jason was like, you will? Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Jason, I think he's going to do some sort of online thing for the magazine, and he's going to post our video, which I think is pretty funny. I would love to see that video.
Hopefully he mutes it so you don't hear me going, this is so cool.
That was one of the best parts, though.
But anyway, so if you would like a copy, let us know. We're happy to give one to you. It may or may not come autographed. You never know.
I think we can autograph it for you. I'll make sure. So, did you see the SpaceX launch last night?
I saw this slide, and I looked it up this morning.
All right, so the nerd in me, I guess, saw it last night. So actually, we were at my family's house, my mom and stepdad's house, for his birthday yesterday, and all of a sudden Susan got online. I guess she saw it, that it was going to be launched. So it was like the clearest sky out. We all ran outside, and I think it's one of the clearest, neatest launches I've ever seen. It got it got Mason all psyched up, which I loved. And it was beautiful. I mean, Elon Musk, not everybody loves him. I think he's amazing. The fact that, he was heralded this and, made this happen. But it was the Falcon 9 rocket with 4 member crews, and they called him Resilience. And I think it was the first international astronaut that was on SpaceX. So I thought that was really neat. His name, I can't say his name. He's Japanese, Soichi Noguchi. But I thought that was really neat. It was beautiful. You could see it for a good 2.5 minutes, and then we were also watching it on our phones. So they were commenting and everything. And I think the best part was and they were all talking about Tesla. And someone said, "Oh, I want a Tesla car," and of course my mom was like, "Oh, why would you buy a Tesla car?" And so I said, "I don't only want a Tesla car, but I want Tesla stock."
Oh yeah, that would be
good. And then
good.
Mason was like, "What's stock?" And so we got to have a really good conversation about what stocks to buy and what they are. And so now this has led us into purchasing
That's
stocks
exciting.
for him. So yeah.
So I think I saw there was one of these on Friday too, a rocket launch or whatever, that you could see from St. Augustine, because I think I saw, because they have pretty distinctive cloud marks, right?
I mean, you could see the burning of the rocket when we were watching it.
I'm pretty sure somebody told me that a rocket went off on Friday too, because I was coming into St. Augustine, and Thomas, my middle child, was like, "Oh, what's that weird cloud?" And I was like, "I don't know, that is really weird."
That reminds me, that was really funny. We're standing outside watching this, and one of the neighbors comes running out. He's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And he's on the phone. And we're like, "Oh, it's the rocket launch of SpaceX." He's like, "Oh, my sister's on I-75, and she thought aliens were invading."
That sounds like something I would say. I'm like, what's happening?
All right. And with that, let's go into our break. And we'll come back. Please join us to come back and we'll talk about how COVID has changed our lives.
And maybe aliens.
And maybe aliens. That's probably how our lives have changed.
I discovered Rabell Realty Group when I went to purchase my first home in Gainesville. So I actually identified Kristen and Rebecca as the listing agent on one of the properties, reached out to them, and they helped me buy my first three properties in Gainesville. The problem that I was looking to solve when I joined Rabell Realty Group is I primarily do real estate investing, and I was using another agent, and I was seeing that I was doing a lot of the work behind the scenes but not getting the commission credit for it. So really one of the things that I wanted to do was get into real estate so I could better handle my personal real estate investments, and then it just kind of took off from there, and I really enjoy working with clients now. So definitely some of the benefits of working for Rabell Realty Group is all of the extra things that they provide to you. The marketing. You can actually go in through some of their tools and create your own marketing using their templates, which is really nice because you're not kind of boxed in. You have that freedom, but you still stay with the brand. So that was one of the things that really attracted me to Rabell Realty Group, was the branding and the support that they provide. Rabell Realty Group has really aligned with the values that drive my success by providing a very flexible environment. So being a single mother, it's very important for me to be there for my son, but also there for my clients. And so Rabell Realty Group allows me that flexibility. There's no pressure on me to go out and sell, but they're there to help me support the clients that I am serving.
All right, welcome back.
That was so nice. That was one of our wonderful realtors, Carrie Myers, at Rabell, talking about how she loves Rabell and seeing some of our great swag also. Love that. And our book box. We haven't talked about our book box in a long time. Let's talk about that. We still have our book box. We do go in and spray it every once in a while so that,
it gets sprayed regularly for sanitation. And then as we add books, it looks like we have had a lot of people very interested in the children's books. We try to keep that stocked. Yes. It is definitely difficult, and I do think there's a need for children's books in the area. So if you have any books that you are looking to donate, you just simply drop them off at Rabell Realty Group during business hours. We'll spray them all down, put them in the box, and keep that going for the community, because I think it is great with so many kids being home more, that they have the ability to go get a book and borrow it and bring it back. So.
And I can say, as an onlooker from inside, when we watch the kids run up with their parents and they're grabbing some books out of there, it makes me really happy. So the kids' books are always most welcome, but any books that you have, we will certainly do that for you, as
Absolutely.
Rebecca has said. So yeah. So our new normal, this is kind of like the term that people are using, the new normal that we're going through with COVID. And I know a lot of our conversations are about COVID, but it's really the year of 2020 is this COVID year, and we've all changed. Life has changed in so many ways. We've talked about a lot, from home offices for the kids at home, or, as parents, or just, adults working from home, things like that. What do you think of the biggest changes, at least that you've experienced?
The biggest changes that I've experienced, and I mean this in a loving and kind way, everything is a hassle or a process. You can't just run into the store. I've got to get a mask and put it on. Then when I get back, I got to sanitize my hands, and I usually sanitize them before I go in. So it's just, everything is a process and a big pain in the neck.
Right. Yeah.
I can't hear people at Publix when they want to talk to you.
Because we're all used to not just hearing, but also lip reading, and what we see that has, I have hearing problems, so that's really hard for me.
I'm always like, what? Never mind.
They also have the plexiglass.
Yes.
And the masks, and you're trying to ask questions. Yeah,
it all feels very impersonal as well.
Yes.
I miss hugs and handshakes and talking to people and actually being able to hear them. So it's been, for me, it's more that life change. My kids have definitely adjusted a lot better.
Sure. I mean, you were talking about your after-school activities. So they haven't been able to be a part of as many.
They're not in as many.
Changed. Right.
Never being alone. I hear you on that. I feel that way all the time.
Right. That is true. I mean, I don't think I have that issue. We have a big enough home where we can sort of be alone and be in the other rooms. And you talk about after-school activities. For us, we changed Mason from being in front of the piano teacher to being on a Zoom piano teacher. And we've learned and adjusted, but in the very beginning, that was just an absolute nightmare. And then she's at home with her toddler, 2-year-old, who's also there during the piano session. So that's been really hard. But again, he's adjusted, we've adjusted. So I think we've been able to work through that a little bit better than in the very beginning. And I remember in the very beginning with the hassle, you'd go to the store, maybe shipped, or Instacart would bring, the groceries, and you just wipe them all down. I don't know if we're that diligent anymore.
We're not. I'll be honest.
I mean, I'm still diligent with washing my hands. I have hand sanitizer everywhere.
Well,
and I know
hand
sanitizer isn't the best. It's much better to use soap and water, but it's hard to use soap and water in your car. So, everywhere I go, I have like 14 of them in my car. I have the little Rabell ones. I have big ones. I mean, I take
like
them to all
the spray. It's like a mist, and then you just wipe your hands.
Right.
I mean, yes, after-school activities have changed. I know they had, and our school has been great about offering some online after school. But it's not quite the same to do art over Zoom and talk about drawing. And, and I just don't think you can have a class of, 10 or 15 students and watch them over Zoom. But I will say what I do like is it prompted us to hire a fabulous nanny or babysitter for after school that picks up my kids and actually makes sure they're getting their homework done. And Thomas's grades have improved a lot.
You got to see the positive of things.
Yes. So that has been nice, and she makes them do chores and pick up, so the house stays a lot cleaner, and it's a little less chaotic when I get home. But I do know that they miss that social aspect. And then, we live in a neighborhood with lots of kids, but there aren't really a lot of kids out on our part of the neighborhood on the streets, riding bikes and playing together anymore. So I think it's a little different.
Although our school activities have changed, like I said, with piano being on Zoom, Mason's still at golf camp when it came on. So, and it's smaller. And then with swimming, we did swimming 4 days a week, and now it's gone just down to 3 days a week. And he only gets to go 30 minutes at a time. So we're really not doing any of the meets because he's just not getting enough swimming. And but it's still, at least he's out and being able to do it. It's just a completely different way. So
thank you, Jamie. So yeah, I would say those have been some big changes. I was an Instacart user before COVID, and I can tell you that I'm Instacart for life. There was a period for a little bit right in the middle of COVID where I didn't use them because the grocery stores were out of everything, and it was just really,
that was a nightmare.
It would take 7 days to get the groceries and all that. So I didn't for a while. But I like it because I was over in St. Augustine for the weekend, and I was, had put all the kids to bed, and I actually placed an order for the following day to arrive right before I got back, so that, Troy had to put all the groceries away. Right. And that's one of my least favorite chores. And so I had him.
That.
I know.
That, like folding the laundry and putting it away.
Yeah, those are terrible chores. But anyways, I order them still, and they arrive. And I think I was telling you, we talked about Target's curbside, and I needed a new vacuum cleaner. And so I was sitting in after school pickup line. I ordered it here, and by the time I was out and on the way, I got a notification it was ready, and they brought it out to my car. I didn't have to lug all 3 kids in and spend that extra $100 that Target requires.
Right.
When you walk through the door. It costs $100 to go to Target. If you're not familiar with that, then
you don't go to Target.
But you must spend at least $100 on items that you did not intend to buy.
Right. And we were always kind of online shoppers and in-store shoppers, and it's kind of lessened with the in-store shopper and raised with the online shopping for us. I mean, I think I have way more subscribe and saves than I ever did before. So that they just show up at the door.
I have that too.
Before it was just like the dog food and, a couple things here and there, but now it's mostly everything.
Well, you can have 6 items and lock that 20% off of Amazon. Yeah, we didn't have
I never really saw that, who cared about that before for me, but now it's
easy. So we never experienced the toilet paper crisis of 2020 because we literally got an Amazon drop off of toilet paper. And I think we get it like every 3 months, but we don't really need it every 3 months, so I usually skip it.
Right, yeah.
So we never experienced a shortage. In fact, we ended up giving toilet paper to people we knew that needed it because it just
so much
was one of those things.
Coming. Right.
Yeah, and but yeah, we use it for dog food and things like that I forget to buy regularly.
Now, Lysol, there's still a shortage, and I went to, Home Depot the other day, and they had just brought out a box of 6 of them. and I grabbed 4 of them because I have not seen Lysol sprays in a long time.
I can't believe they let
So I
you
was
do
excited.
that.
No, they did. He was like, you could take all 6. I was like, I don't really know if I need 6. 4
Take
of them,
all 4.
I'm good.
Yeah, when I was at Target a couple weeks ago, I make my kids wipe their bathrooms down every day. They're supposed to. And so they just use the little disinfectant wipes. It's easy.
Yes, those we can find. It's just the spray. I love the spray.
Target only let me buy 1, and I'm like, well, I have 3 bathrooms. I need, and I was only buying 2, and so I was like,
Subscribe
fine.
and save.
I know. I need to subscribe and save, apparently.
Order it online. Let it come to your house, right? So I think that has changed a lot of people. Obviously, Amazon, Walmart, Target, these stores that ship, Instacart, the shipped grocery start program. I think those have really risen. And I mean, again, if we're talking about stocks, I know a lot of people who bought those stocks and they're doing amazing. Same with Zoom. Everybody's using Zoom. So I have a program through Zillow that we use for helping to train our agents with, online calls and talking and lead generation. And we do, but I'm the one who runs it. And they at first were using some other program and ended up coming onto Zoom because so many people knew how to use it. And so many people were using it that it just made more sense.
Yep,
So,
I had a meeting with our banker that way.
Right.
Through Zoom. I also see a lot of restaurants changing.
Yes, we were going to get into that too. Right?
Yep. So they're...
Now I know during the summer, a lot of restaurants were able to sit outside with outdoor seating. And obviously with Florida, our biggest thing is really just rain. Hurricane season. That Hurricane Eta, woof, what a rough hurricane to go through. Just kidding.
In North
Talking about
Central Florida.
Gainesville.
Yes. Only our area.
I'm sure it was rough in the areas, Georgia and North Carolina that got hit a little more. But we did not get hit at all, and the kids were at home.
That was such a great day.
Such a great day. But our storms is what keeps people inside. So I do feel bad for the states that don't have the beautiful Florida weather, that are already really cold, and now they can't eat outside. So, and I know there's a lot of openings for for restaurants that were opening, and now they're doing a bunch of soft opens where they just have dinners for groups. It's usually groups over 4 or 5.
Yeah, I mean, we scheduled one because we wanted to check
Right.
out a
We've got
restaurant,
about 20
and it had we had to have a
20
group
people.
of 10
yeah.
minimum.
And so, but they're doing that. We know of Prime and Pearl doing that. And then there's just a couple others that instead of being fully open, they're opening, they have a few people here and there.
Yes. And I think what you're seeing restaurant-wise is people can't come in and have the experience, so your takeout game better be
Oh, yeah. They
fun.
definitely have to have the takeout game, exactly. And also, I know that they're reducing their menus so that it's cheaper.
That's been sad.
So they're trying to come up with, the absolute best food from their menus and keeping them on there. But yeah, I mean, I know that during the height of COVID, there were a couple of restaurants that we were so happy that they already had their pickup game on because we just use that. And I know, like Napolitano's, they closed down and then moved to parties, and I just bring up Napolitano's because it's on the top of my head, but they are a Gainesville staple, and now they're back up and running, but they're doing takeout. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see how restaurants survive. I'm almost wondering if we're going to see, so people have realized that people can work from home, or owners or bosses have realized people can work from home and are just as efficient and productive.
Right.
It makes me wonder if we're going to see a shift and change in commercial use properties.
Yes, I think especially small office commercial properties, that's going to be the biggest hit that the real estate market takes. I mean, I think it's already been their biggest hit, that they're like the lower number of sales and rentals, they're going to have the hardest problem. So we're really happy that we have, what's the square footage of our office?
We're 14 and change. We're small.
We're
and
small.
we did it that way intentionally.
Right. We didn't know COVID was coming, but we just knew it's the best way to keep people out and about working and not hanging out the office. Now, yes, it's nice to have the office space where you can talk, or you have your own office and maybe you talk with the other realtors and learn a lot from them. But we do have our morning huddles. So at 8 o'clock on Mondays and Wednesdays and Friday for our team, we can spend a full hour on this call getting ready. Sometimes we're dropping kids off, or putting our makeup on, or whatever we're doing, and talking real estate. So that in office, discussions have now gone to the phone. And so, and the huddle's on the phone. So we've learned to pivot, and I think a lot of people have learned to pivot now that we've done this, for 9 months or so with COVID. So yeah, those are some of the biggest changes, but what are your thoughts on commercial?
I think you're going to see, because I think people are changing the way they do business, and restaurants might follow suit for a more permanent experience. It depends on, what happens in the next probably 6 to 12 months, I think, is going to determine if we just had a blip and 2020 was a weird year, or if it is a total lifestyle change. I mean, they say it takes 27 days to make a new habit, and we've been at this for 9 months. So is this a new habit?
I think a lifestyle change is 5 years, like completely.
A total lifestyle.
Lifestyle change. So, we've been at this for, many, many months. So it's not 5 years yet, but our little habits are changing here and there. And I mean, even shopping, I know that you started shopping for clothes and shoes online a little bit before I did, because I still like the experience. But this was already happened before COVID, where the larger stores were reducing the amount of product they had in store. So you could just go in, they had one of every size. You weren't really supposed to buy that one. You were supposed to actually order. And so you couldn't have it right then. I mean, they would sell some of them that way, but they were really changing to where you go in, you look at the product, you can feel it, you can try it on, you can touch it and everything, but you're ordering it online.
You're not taking our instant gratification away.
Right.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm ready for 2021 to get here.
Yes, I mean, I think everyone is. So luckily it's right around the corner. Have you started your Christmas, I know you started your Christmas shopping, but your Christmas decor?
No. We
Did
have
you
a very
notice
strong
that KTK
rule.
already has Christmas music playing?
No, I don't listen to regular radio.
Yeah, I was changing the radio stations and I heard Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I was like, what?
Yeah.
But I have seen a couple of people post and they're very happy about it.
Stop forcing Christmas on us. It's not.
Well, I think
Thanksgiving is the best holiday.
I think this year, everybody wants Christmas to come around because it feels like, okay, finally we have a happy moment in our lives. That happy, warm feeling of family or whatever. I mean,
I think everybody's like, hurry up and get here Christmas, because then we know we have 5 days left. We can get to the next year.
You have a little bit of both. You have people that just want that warmth of Christmas and people that just want that Christmas because they know right around the corner, that means in the new year. So,
we have a pretty strict holiday rule or tradition. No Christmas before Thanksgiving.
We do that too. Do not skip over a holiday. So we do a little bit of decorating, not massive for Thanksgiving. I did buy a little Santa remember you were with me, from the store in St. Augustine?
Oh, yes.
And I put it out and I kind of got in trouble. I wasn't trying to put out decor for Christmas. It was just brand new, so I put it out because it's really cute. I like little Santas that look like elves. But yeah, so we don't really skip over Thanksgiving for Christmas. So yeah, we've got.
Well, if you have a holiday tradition, we'd like to talk about holiday traditions on the next show. So message us. Let us know.
Whether it's food or where you go or what you do, who you gather with. Is there a dish that you love? Would love it. Would love it if you could share it with us and we could talk about our family traditions and how they've actually changed this year and how we are changing this year with, again, COVID.
Jamie, don't lie. I still have Halloween decorations up that need to be taken down. I finally put my bats up and then I just didn't want to take them down. So let us know what your traditions are, and as always, there are you can follow us on the blog. We'll have some information on the blog. We'd love to hear what is the new normal for you. Are you avoiding restaurants? Are you cooking more? Have you become a master chef? Tell us about what's happening in your world, and we'll write about it and put it up on the blog for you. We do have a new opportunity.
Sponsorship opportunities. If you'd love to be a sponsor, come on our show with us or have your logo involved. We'll talk about your company. Please contact us at 352-327-5089. And then
if you want to join our team, message us at join@buysellrebell.com. We'll tell you how to get your license, the cost, the nitty-gritty, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever you want to know about real estate, we are ready to talk to you about it.
We know it. We've got it.
Right. And then you can find us on social media at the following locations: Facebook at Buy Sell Rebel, Instagram, TikTok, which if you aren't following us on TikTok, you really should.
You're missing out.
It is a whole different game.
Then again, you could get sucked into all of the TikTok.
Only get on TikTok if you have a couple hours to spare. And
Can't
then
get off.
info@buysellrebell.com for information on buying, selling, or joining Rabell Realty Group.
Yeah. All right. Well, we want to thank Elio of the Fiesta Media. He's the one that produces this, and he will produce your podcast if you'd like to. So you can reach him as well. But thank you, Elio. Thank you, Fiesta Media. We appreciate you.
Thank you. We will see you next week to talk about holiday traditions and a more in-depth market report for 2020. I almost said 2019.
All right. We'll see you then. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching afterwards. And we'll see you next week, Monday at 2.